Certainly not helping our Nielsen ratings. What night are they on? It gets so confusing. We're here on a Monday because we're here on a Monday. Welcome into the ATB Show. You've got Uncle Duke's in beautiful downtown Maine. Corey is in your home. That is the home office.
That's the home office.
Yeah, I'm confused. I thought you were jumping on a flight. Are you jumping on a flight to leave or get home? Like, what's happening?
I'm jumping on a flight to leave to go to Oklahoma City.
Tonight. Why wouldn't you travel in the morning?
Because I wanted to get some work done.
Okay. Hi, Jess. You look great. Tell the kids Dad says hello. Dear Lord. Listen, I could lay in bed with you one more time, but I'm going to leave early. I'm going to sleep on the plane.
Right. I'm out.
Truer words are never spoken. Rubber Shoes live from the firehouse. We might get a call for a cat. We might have to Narcan somebody. It might be burgers and tots. Have you guys eaten yet? That's the question.
No, we're having Thai peanut chicken tonight.
Oh, sounds personal. All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right. Interesting.
Who's cooking?
Not me. The guy who cooks once in a while. This is my favorite meal that he makes.
Oh,
nice.
Do you guys? Is there a vote? Is there some sort of system that happens?
No.
Do you get like multiple choice a week out, or just manager's choice? It's like fourth grade at Harrington School.
The guy who's gonna cook is you're eating what he's cooking.
It is what it is. All right. Do you guys ever have a night like just figure it out for yourself, or is that sacrilege?
So we usually we might have he cooks. He's our regular cook, and he probably does it a couple of times a month. A lot of times it's takeout or bring in your own. I bring in my own.
Is the cook designated survivor? Do they ever go to an actual fire, or is it too much of a risk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Like Cookie's trying to get on the truck. You're like, listen, we need you next week for that beef.
Well, it does suck when you're like on the holidays when we're having prime rib or something and it's in the oven and it's like you get called to a fire.
The bell rings because somebody's Christmas tree gets on fire. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great. You need a sous chef. Tell him to put it in the
deputy,
capital.
if you're all set with us, can we go back to the station?
Yeah. Are we good? Yep. We're gonna be there just in time to put the foundation out.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we're into it. We're brought to you by our dear friends Joe and Leslie, AAA Work Trucks, Rubber Shoes. You haven't done it in a while. I feel like you're gonna be greasy. Or you okay?
Yeah.
Did I give you enough of a head start?
Yeah. I'm good.
It goes in, on, or under a truck. Go ahead.
Brought to you by AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a truck,
around or under.
Good bet. AAA will take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
4 S's. 3 S's or 4 S's. It'll be on the quiz later.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one. Do you guys... Could I call you for the most random thing as a consumer, or do you just deal with commercial stuff? Like you just go to dealerships?
Like a lot of times we get a lot of people calling for the WeatherTech mats.
Like I could call and say, could you send Rubber Shoes to Lafayette Road in Portsmouth and have them drop off one spark plug? Would they do it?
Yeah, no.
We
don't sell spark plugs. So
what if I called you and said, bring 2 spark plugs and I'll get you some Chinese food?
No.
He'd be like, well, I don't know if I can because I don't eat shit. So
we don't deal with engines. So I guess if it goes on like after the fact, after the aftermarket stuff, not stuff that comes with the vehicle already.
I feel like we're talking about Indigenous Peoples Weekend. What did you just say?
I said we don't do the stuff that already comes with the vehicle, like the engine, the spark plugs.
You're clicking on all the stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The stuff that comes after that you want to
So I could tell you I need a floor mat and you drive it up to me.
Yes.
Might have to do that. Interesting. All right. Lots to get to. I think we're going to start with, we're going to give them their flowers, and I'm going to be negative Nancy. Welcome to the show. The Red Sox.
Oh, you better not piss off Cheryl.
The Red Sox, box checked, October 10th, 1971. Come on, really?
You're her pride and joy.
Again. Piss her off again.
Again. I have to tell you that the story from 1,000 years ago that people don't believe me, but I think you guys met my dad, so you guys would definitely believe me. And my dad tells his story. He didn't make this up, and this is what's always interesting. My parents, I suppose, shooting for a boy, continued to procreate after my parents had sex 3 times, just in case anybody's keeping score, because I have to believe that for my own sanity, right? Yes. Very mechanical, very operational. So Stephanie, Jennifer, and they're waiting for the prodigal son. And I'm being born. And this is the story as it's told. As my mom would say, there's no need for it. Like, she's like, this actually happened. I'm being born. The doctor looks up at my dad and says, it's a boy. My dad goes down to the exit point to see what's happening. And I'm this far out. All you got is my forehead and my nose. And my dad goes, how do you know it's a boy? And he goes, it's too ugly to be a girl.
Oh.
Now they had it. Now I don't know if this doctor, I don't believe this doctor delivered all 3 of us. But they obviously had a good relationship with this doctor. So I guess that was, my dad probably loved it. I don't know. And my mom probably wasn't listening. But as the story goes, he actually did say that. So, cause I had this, if you want to measure that out. Laser for the floor liners.
Did it get caught?
It's not great. Yeah. Well, no, clearly it cleared because that was already on the other side. Oh. And my dad's like, how do you know it's a boy? And he's like, too ugly to be a girl. Anyway, I am going to annoy Cheryl because I'm going to say what I say every year. And you guys know what I'm about to say. I don't like when they're grooving into the break. It's never good for us. I mean, historically, it's probably been good for us in the past. I don't have those stats in front of me.
Where do you get these stats from, by the way?
Here. The part that got the oxygen first when I escaped. Yeah, I don't know. I'm making this up. I just don't like the way it feels. It's nothing about facts here. You 3 boys can play facts on this show. I'm about the feelings. I'm getting caught up in my feels. I don't like them rolling into the break. None of it at all.
You'd rather have them struggle into the break.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be there's a birth on the other side if they struggle into the break. Rolling into the break concerns me. It always has. I hope I'm wrong. I'm already about to be wildly wrong. My prediction for the season was 63-99. We're clearly not going to see that unless this break does what it normally does to us and destroys us on the other side.
So you'd rather see them struggle and be 20 games out of a playoff spot right now?
No, I would have liked some clunkiness going into the break.
Well, they lost Friday night. They've only won 2 out of 3 out of like their last 4 series. So it's not like they're going in winning 15 in a row.
But they've been winning series. I'm not complaining too much. How do you guys feel about them right now and where it stands and the fact that now Rafi's pieced out, right? He's not going. He's going to rest.
Correct.
That's what I heard this morning.
His shoulder's been cranky.
So will they replace him with? Crazy. So will JB step in for him, or is that the wrong sport?
Wrong sport.
Does JB wrong sport? Okay, wasn't sure.
No, Derek White will.
Derek White. Jerry Seasteen. Yes.
He's more marketable.
Oh my God. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with the way they're playing. They've got a better record than I think like the 2004 Red Sox at the All-Star break. So it's pretty impressive. I mean, I think we came into it talking about how fun the team will be to watch, but they're going to be a few years away. I don't think anyone expected their pitching to be what it is. That's the shocking. And even with Devers, I hope his shoulder doesn't heal too much because he's crushing the ball right now. Yeah. Did you see him pass? He passed Jason Varitek
and Tech put the medal around his neck. I love that.
Yeah, for 10th all time now in Red Sox history. And I loved that. I was watching that live. Thank you, Timmy. And, when it happened, it was like this.
They're going to figure out eventually what that means, but it's all right. It's fine.
But yeah, it was amazing. And, again, even like Duran hustling for a double like the other day, I think that was yesterday's game, to start things off. And it's just, they're a fun team to watch, man. It really is. And, with Houck and Duran being able to represent at the All-Star game, it's awesome. It's they haven't ruined Billy's summer yet, so at least that's
been
one
great. I've quality time in the pool listening to the Red Sox broadcast.
Oh, we need an update. Didn't the strawberry die in a fiery death? What are we having inappropriate contact with in the pool now?
So
what's happening?
So I was on the bucket of popcorn which died over the weekend. So I just
What's
I
happening
have
here?
it.
Not enough butter. Not enough. You
Yeah.
raw dogged it. Not enough
So
butter.
what I have it basically
That's it.
looks like a kiddie pool.
Oh,
So it looks like a pool that's in a pool.
We got a gummy bear.
The reason why I bought it is because I'm a big baby when it trying to get into cold water. So I was like, I
okay.
need something that I can get into that the water doesn't accidentally touch me while I'm getting in. And ever since I got this new float, my pool's been like 85 degrees, so I haven't had to worry about it.
Wait a minute. I thought you literally meant that you had a kiddie pool. I thought you had an acclimation pool outside the pool.
No, it's
Like
like
you're like steeping yourself into the soup. I wasn't sure what was going on.
No.
All right, so you climb up the ladder and you get into an inflatable erection that looks like what?
It looks
What
like
is
a
happening?
kiddie pool.
So you're floating like.
So you can fill up this raft with water
Oh my god!
like a kiddie pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And be in the pool at the same time.
Yes.
So
So it
you
worked
get wet,
out
but
good
not totally wet.
yesterday. So I'm just laying out and I filled that with water to keep me cool. It was working out pretty good.
So you could put a bucket of ice in that little thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Then,
Yep. Cold plunge into the pool.
yeah, there you go.
There's a lot going on. All right.
I love how this just goes off the rails a little bit. I love that.
I love
Yeah.
it. The pool.
take a-
The pool's fascinating. There was a picture last year. Last season, we had a picture of him, fully mounted on the strawberry. Totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Just
with the
there's a lot
radio
going
and the
on.
TV going on the table. Yeah.
Well,
So what happens if the game goes off the rails and a play happens and you get all mad and by accident you flip into the actual pool? Does it really
into the
ruin
actual
your
water?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Does
It
that
hasn't
ever happen?
actually. So I think this.
You broke him, Corey. You
I-
broke him with
I
that
think-
question.
I think it's only one time this year that I've been on the float listening to the game that they've lost this year.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
wow.
So it was, and plus that like the Yankee series, they had a night game on Sunday night, so I didn't get to listen to it during the day. So this weekend I got Saturday and Sunday both in the pool listening to the game, and they won both games, so it was great.
Well,
Can you
so-
see him if the stats starts to stack while he's in the pool?
Yes.
He's gonna.
Just
You know
saying
where
that.
I'm going, Corey. He's
Yes.
gonna be out there in a wetsuit in October during the playoffs.
Yes, I am a very superstitious guy, so yeah.
So
Oh
I
my
want you
God.
after this show, I want you to get all the numbers of the day games that you could have potentially been in the pool and how many games they won. And now you have to do
Okay.
that at night too.
All of this.
He's not moving that out of the pool.
Yeah,
He's going to be in the
yeah.
pool the rest of the year. They're 4.5 games back, right? In their
Out
division.
of the AL East, yes.
Yeah, and I think they're 3.5 games in the wild card.
They're
Yeah, I
they're 2 games ahead of the Royals in the last wild card
Is it two-
spot. They're half a game behind Minnesota for the second spot and 3.5 behind the Yankees for the first spot.
Right, there's an extended. Okay, so here there's your challenge, right? Let's look at the stats. Let's take a deep dive into the
Yep.
numbers.
Okay.
I love numbers, right? I feel like people lie, numbers don't. So let's dive
The
right into
pool analytics.
Yes. My God.
it.
So hold it. So wait a minute. Are we still on a run? Remember at home they were undefeated at home on Sundays.
No, they're
undefeated.
14-1. 14-1 now, I believe.
I was at 14-1 now. Okay.
Or
I was
maybe
gonna say you
15-1. Yeah.
got to get in the pool for every Sunday
they-
game. Keep it
they
going.
only- I think I don't think I was in the pool for that one loss.
Are you serious?
Actually, I think I might be.
If that's trackable,
Because that happened. That probably happened before the pool was open. So I'm guessing they're undefeated on Sundays when I've been in the pool.
You know what?
They're a game below 500 at home. They're 24-25. Away, they're
I know,
29-17.
Yeah.
It's like the Celtics. The Celtics couldn't win at home. Celtics are better
Right.
on the road. Better on
Yeah.
the road, which is so annoying because I don't like watching road games because I'm such a homer. I'd rather watch them at home. That's tragic. That's tragic. Who's in our? Anybody interesting in the home run derby? I mean, I know Alonso's in it again. Who's in? Because that is tonight, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's tonight.
Yep.
Did not look to see who was competing.
Shouldn't we have somebody? Shouldn't I mean Rafi would have, I
No.
guess, but he's not. No, you don't think we have
I know they were trying to get Tyler O'Neill into it, but I think where he got injured, they stopped talking about that. When he got injured like a month ago, they stopped talking about it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I know Shohei is not in it because he wants to rest as much as possible to get back from his surgery. So it's probably going to be like a bunch of guys we don't know, except for Alonzo, or
Yeah, Pete Alonso.
the polar bear.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
Pete
know.
Alonso, Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt Jr.,
Oh, Gunner, nice.
Marcelo Ozuna, O'Donnell Garcia, Teoscar Hernandez, Jose Ramirez, and Alec Baum.
All right.
Oh, so it's a old guys versus young guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty much.
tonight's always something like we put on. It's just on in the background. I find it like it's not annoying enough to not watch it, but I'm not watching it. Like it's
Now that Chris Berman is not part of it, I can watch it. When he was every freaking one, it's like, okay, dude, we get it.
look at Scott.
That was amazing.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah, but when you do it on every freaking hit during a home run derby, it's
kind
kind of
like
annoying.
They just wheeling them out for it. It's
Yeah.
a little much. It's more than I bargained for. There's no need for that.
I gotcha.
We can sunset that, which I think they have.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the who caught the Scottish Open? Anybody catch the Scottish Open yesterday?
No.
Bits
No.
and pieces.
End of the Scottish Open. Sorry, Cheryl. She probably has this recorded. She doesn't watch that. McIntyre wins it in the end. Obviously, the native, and a huge long putt. And I always forget until it happens, and then you remember. Like they have to be sitting there. They have to be like, okay, here's 10 guys that could possibly scoot in and take the win. Should he drop a putt, or when he wins, what am I gonna say? And it was on CBS, so it was Jim Nantz, and he's just like the great Scott, and I'm like, oh dear God, it was so saccharine. I'm like, oh really? Did we go there? But it was a great.
Also, he
putt.
just beat Adam Scott, so that's very confusing because the fact that he
It
beat
could have
Adam
worked
Scott,
either way, yeah. Because he was sitting waiting for him to finish out. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool to watch him come back and win. And Royal Troon will be good next week, which is exciting. And they'll probably have, it's gonna be good. And Tiger was quoted 2 weeks ago. He feels he's in a position where his game is ready for the Open, and he feels he's absolutely in a position to win.
Love that.
I paraphrased a little bit there, and I know that's the way he's wired. He's not going to come out and be like, yeah, I'm showing up to check some boxes and sign some babies. He's not showing up without an attitude. He's like Jordan-esque in that regard. Like, I'm coming to win. I'm not showing up to show up. I'm here to win. I'd just love to see him get to Saturday. Just get through the cut. Make the cut. That would be great, because I do think he does play well. He just, for whatever reason, the only thing I'm thinking is I feel like with his injuries, because I'm his doctor, I feel like with his injuries, that weather, if it is rainy and windy and all that kind of stuff, just doesn't, he's
going to tighten up.
Yeah, just going to tighten up, and arthritis and whatever else he might be dealing with all the injuries in his legs. So who knows? But that'll be exciting to see what happens with that coming up.
Hey, if Timmy and Billy can play in the wintertime, he can play in the Open. All right.
We love the wintertime. Bought the heater. We got the heater. We have the heater now.
The reason why you like the wintertime is because your marshmallows are harder. So
oh
they
my
look
God!
like little golf balls.
Yes, Scotty. Look at Scott. Scotty was there for that. Scotty was there for the marshmallows. Yeah,
I like it because
he was talking about.
Because the fairways are so hard when you hit your drive, they just roll forever.
Yep. Love the rollout. But I hate the greens. It's always tough when you get to the greens, though.
Yeah.
If your Flopposaurus Rex are on the greens, it's not good.
If you actually have a green, sometimes they just put the stick
in a new place,
30 yards in front of the green.
Yeah. There's a spot down in Massachusetts.
Corey,
Scotty, there's a place down in Massachusetts called Far Corners, which we love because they're open until February. But they're just working on some greens. So you're walking up. I'm looking at my Garmin. I'm like, all right, we're like 127 to center of green. Not that it really matters for me. That's for Rubba shoes because he's a better golfer. Like we're 127 to center, 140 to the back, and Rubba shoes launches one over the hill. Perfect. But that one, didn't they have a tarp down on one of them? There was a tarp down. It was over the hill, and the tarp had collected water, and it just they moved the flag up.
Yeah.
So we're driving down this hill of a fairway, and like they dropped a new flag down the hill that you didn't know about we're getting golf in the middle of winter. We're happy. But like the kid in the clubhouse could be like, hey, on 13, the pin's moved up 1,000 yards. Like you just a little bit. Because Rubber Shoes like ropes it, and it must have hit the green and just ricocheted to Gonick. I don't know where it went, but nowhere near us. Anyway, Patriots. What are we excited
Getting
about?
excited.
What have we seen that we're excited about? Tell me why I should be excited, because I'm, the one that thinks we need 3 years to get out of our own way, and then they're going to fire Gerard Mayo. We'll be on to the next coach. So tell me why I should be excited.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been saying that, Scotty. I've been saying that. You've heard that from me. You've heard that.
Yeah, it's not a fan. I know you're not a fan.
I'm still excited about the Red Sox.
Yeah,
just want to put that out there.
I didn't know we just moved on.
What else is there to discuss? Go ahead.
We fell off the strawberry, moved on to the Patriots.
Yeah, we're on to the Patriots.
Possible trade. There's rumors out there about the Red Sox going for
I'm
Garrett
happy.
Crochet from the White Sox.
We're going to table the Patriots. We're going back to the Red Sox so we can discuss all the shit they're not going to do by July 31st. Go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Garrett Crochet, the ace for the Chicago White Sox, is rumored, but it would take Marcelo Mayer most likely to get him.
No.
We're not doing that. We shouldn't do that. That's my
Definitely
biggest fear. They're going to do something we shouldn't do.
Well, they want to do stuff to break up this team because they want them to be bad. They want, like they're winning despite the organization, right? I mean, you're probably going to have the manager win coach, right? Manager of the year, whatever that is, right?
And then not get rehired.
And then go get a job someplace else. Has that ever happened in the league?
He'll go be the coach for the manager for the Yankees next year.
I was going to say, yeah, he can go be the coach for the Vegas Knights and then win a Stanley Cup. That's happened to us. Different sport, but we're good at that. Yeah, you should leave and go somewhere else. Okay, I'll go win a Stanley Cup in the desert because that makes sense.
Because they are going through a season of like direct major league. I mean, it's major league right now.
Yeah.
The fact that the ownership does not care, they don't want them to win, and they're not going to put any money into it. But they're out there winning with a bunch of misfits.
I'm hoping they don't have a cutout of.
I do it myself. Yeah.
Hopefully they don't have a cutout of John Henry.
Oh,
they're running the bases like Willie Mae Hayes.
Yeah, stripping off the bikini, right? Were they doing that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I don't need to see any leopard stuff. Nope. I'm good.
Sean Henry in a bikini.
Yeah.
Count Whiteula. Yeah. God help us. Is that it? So that's the one deal.
It. Well,
there's one deal they might.
I finally did some research for the show, and you were going to go right past it.
I appreciate that. Anybody want them to make that deal?
No.
What's the deal? What's the deal we want them to make by the 31st? And is that the trade deadline? It might be a different day, but it's usually the 31st.
He's a top end pitcher, and so if you give up Meyer, you can have Rafaela be your future shortstop if you decide to do that. Mm-hmm. Have Rafaela play short, Duran play center. So it is a position of flexibility that they do have.
Okay.
To get so he's a stud, although he's already had Tommy John surgery, so he's come back from that already. So, I mean, other pitchers have had it multiple times, but hopefully, you have it once, you're good to go. He's a lefty starter. So
he's young. He's
25, I think.
24, 25, yeah, something like that. So he's young. I mean, he's a really good pitcher, and he's done it both, right? Because he was a closer, or he was expected to. I think the season he was coming in to be a closer, and then they made him a starter, and he's been a stud as a starter. But I don't think you gave up Marcelo Meyer for that. I mean, and I know to your point, Billy, it's like they do have depth at the position for long term, and they've already signed Cedeno Rafaela to that. I mean, he's played everywhere this year, pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
Except for, I don't think he's played third, but or first. But, he's to me, I think Marcelo is just an absolute stud. And you could have Rafaela be your future second baseman. You know what I mean? Or have Meyer be your future second baseman and have him be your short. So to me, I wouldn't do that only because I think he's way too talented. If that's really what it's going to take.
I don't see them doing it because they probably don't want to mortgage the future. Although, I mean, this guy's young enough. It's not like you're renting him for a year. So it's a guy you can have for another 5-6 years. They got to do something. If they don't make a splash and go hard for something like that, then they got to do something. Martin and Slayton are on the IL right now, so the bullpen's a little weak coming out of the All-Star break. So we're going to see next week because I think they play the Dodgers first coming out of the break, and then I know they play the Yankees again in that next week. So it's going to be if they're ailing a little bit, you could find them 8 games out real quick,
real fast. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so he's only making $800,000 right now for the White Sox. He signed a 1-year deal to avoid arbitration. Did Garrett. So I mean, if they did make that trade, they would have to commit to him. And that's I don't know if they're going to or not, and that's like, so he could be a rental or he could be something they're going to commit to.
Well, you don't trade Mayer for a rental. Definitely. Yeah.
I think they're just going to ride the ponies they got.
I think so too. Billy doesn't like that though.
It's going to be the old.
You want something exciting.
It's going to be the old.
This is exciting. They're wild
our
card.
trade is like getting Casas back and getting Martin back and getting Slayton back. That's like making a trade, but we didn't have to give anything up for it.
Oh my God! Yes,
it doesn't work that way.
We got some
you need
people
to
back.
Add to that.
Yeah.
I think they can add to it, though, later in the year when the roster expands and they can bring up some young talent that they have in the farm system. Now, granted, that's, that they can actually get up there and play and make, an impact if they're still in the race, which by all means, or by all signs, I should say, they will be. And if you bring up like Nikos or, you bring up Mayer or others that are down there that are really talented, because the farm system is very talented, that could be your addition right there. I don't know. I don't think I'm with Corey. I think you stand pat. I don't think you do anything at all.
I want to write that down. Someone's with me.
Somebody agrees.
Somebody
agrees.
I'm not jumping on a
Corey,
flight
did
right
you,
now.
Did you say you want them to do that, or you think that's what they're going to do?
I think they should stay pat. Ride the ponies they got. Right. Because it's working. I mean, I don't watch as much as you do, right? But I watch occasionally and look at it and definitely get all the highlights. But I think, I don't see Baltimore, running away with the division. Let's put it that way.
I love that them and the Yankees were just into it all weekend, by the way. I also love the fact that Verdugo fell on his ass, or fell on his face, I should say.
Yeah.
Trying to get that fly ball, and they just blew it.
Hopefully.
Craig Breslow was like, see, I told you. Yeah.
Like, wouldn't it be something? I gotta check the schedule real quick. I think they play the Yankees, if I remember correctly.
I love that he's checking on his phone in real time.
So they play the Dodgers, the Rockies, and then they play the Yankees. And wouldn't it be something if we sweep them and then they fire Aaron Boone at the end of that series?
Oh boy!
Great.
Oh boy!
That would be awesome.
When the Rockies are here, can they take Story back? Just literally, for a bag of balls.
Just take them. Just take.
Yeah.
I don't want any of my guys paying for soda.
Yeah, we'll take one pack. We'll take one packet of spicy brown mustard. That's all we want.
Good.
Oh my God. Paying for soda. Oh boy.
Old man
Oh boy.
justice.
You love it. You love it. So now can we move on to football?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. I'm happy-ish.
Happy-ish.
That's
He's happy-ish.
that's what matters. We're gonna make sure Rubba Shoes is happy.
Yeah. Wicked happy. All right. So tell me what you're excited about, Scotty, with the Pats.
You know, I'm excited about the quarterback competition. I don't see them going into. I don't know. We actually had a lot of conversations about this over the weekend with Stevie's future son-in-law, a big football fan too, about
Oh boy.
who's going to start and what's happening. And between him and Brissett, Drake May and Brissett, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens there. And then on top of that, it's when training camp starts, what does the offensive line look like? To me, that's the most terrifying thing out of all of it. And then the final part, I would say, that is on a exciting and interesting note is the wide receivers. I'm dying to see what Polk and the others can do. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be fun to watch. They're a young group. Don't be surprised if that's my dog. If you can hear that. Don't be surprised if a certain veteran gets cut. There's but I think Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, number 7 will be eligible again for a good player.
That's right. Yeah, get him out of here. I couldn't stand Juju. I don't know why they signed him, but anyway. But yeah, so I think the wide receivers are going to be a lot of fun to watch too. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a fun camp. Also, what does Mayo do? Like, how does he do? How does he handle his first training camp? Handle the media, all that stuff. There's so much unknown going into this training camp for the first time in 20 years. It's going to be wild.
Did
I'm
you
excited.
see what he said? Oh, what he said to McCourty? You see, it came out today. No. He was talking to Devin McCourty, and he said, "I am doing so much stuff that has nothing to do with football right now. It's ridiculous."
I believe
welcome to the head coach.
I believe it. Yeah, exactly. Yep. That's exactly right.
I'm excited.
I mean, he had to have
all of it.
Like, he had to know going in. Like, did he not hang out with Bill and figure out what's going on before he decided he wanted to be a head coach?
Bill didn't hang out with Bill. Did he hang out with Bill?
Not hang out, but
I know who hung out with
Brain
Bill.
And
she was 24.
Good for her.
I was gonna say 19. But.
Good for everybody.
19? Jesus.
Yeah, when she first started hanging out with him, right?
Oh my God. We don't know that. We don't know.
What's your prediction on wins?
Oh, we're not going there yet. We're not doing that.
Not
yet.
even close.
We're too soon.
Not even too soon.
We're too
way
close.
too
Right.
friggin' soon.
Oh, wait, did you say wins plural?
Oh my God. I guarantee I'll have the most annoying prediction. And here's my thing. Here's just so everybody understands. I'm remarkably excited. I can't wait for football season. I'm excited for the Patriots season. I love Gerard Mayo. There's just something that tells me that it's not going to be, he's not the guy. He may be somebody's guy. And this sounds counterintuitive because I'm going to give Crafty credit, but I'm also going to make fun of him. And I've said this a million times on the show since it happened. I just don't know how you ended up having the availability of help me, left Tennessee, got fired from Tennessee.
Mike Vrabel.
Thank you. Vrabel becomes available, and you don't even explore that. And maybe they did, and he doesn't need to call me to tell me what he's doing. But he's just like, no, it was in the contract. We told him he was going to get the keys to the vet. Like, okay, but that seems a little short-sighted. And I don't know that don't know. I don't think he's the answer. It doesn't make me right.
Well, they kept him from leaving.
I think eventually we'll know he's not the answer. Right now, I don't think he's the answer. I don't feel like he's the answer. That has me unexcited because I don't want to go through 3 years of mediocrity and then a coaching change. Maybe a shorter window than that, and then another coaching change. And
I don't think he's going to
get on to the next level. We just saw that happen with Brady's departure. Like, oh my God, we're not winning. I feel like we're going to have 3 more years of famine before we get to even the start of a change because I don't think he's the fit. I don't think he's the guy. I love him, and I'm excited, and I can't wait to be wrong. I don't think I will be. That's all.
I don't think he'll have much of a rope, if you will. If he doesn't turn this thing around quickly, he won't be here.
So
I
I
don't.
don't.
I don't.
I'm
I
coming
think they'll
off
give
your.
him a lot.
I'm jumping the
They'll
other
give him a
side
ton
now,
of rope.
Corey.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be with you on this one, buddy. Sorry. But that was quick, wasn't it? No, I agree with Timmy. I think he has a ton of rope, and
Really?
I'm actually hoping that he does, and I'm also hoping, in regards to the coaching staff, I'm actually not as worried about Mayo as I am Van Pelt. Right. So especially because of the fact, like, if Alex Van Pelt is the offensive coordinator, he's got to be the coordinator for multiple seasons. McDaniels was so successful. Even Billy O, even though they never won a Super Bowl, he was so successful. Charlie Weiss, so successful. These guys were successful because they were around. They were able to, like, establish a system, and they were around for a while. Now, granted, they had the GOAT. They had, Brady at the helm to kind of to work with that, but they were successful as offensive coordinators because they could establish that. But if you have a young kid like May, basically look what happened with Mac Jones. Like that, they completely ruined that kid's confidence completely. I'm not saying he was, at first he looked like the quarterback of the future. His rookie year with McDaniels, he looked like a stud, right? We all thought he looked like a stud because he did. Went to the playoffs, right? And then
McDaniels
obviously
left.
McDaniels left, and the horrible happened that no one wants to talk about. So if for me, Van Pelt needs to have the long rope, as does Mayo. And maybe they're hand in hand, but especially with the offensive line being what it is, I would be happy if they started Brissett almost the entire season, if not the entire season, only because if the offensive line's trash and they're going out there and they're getting, the quarterback's getting killed, and it's either the blocking scheme's garbage from like Van Pelt or whatever, or just the offense is bad, or the offensive line is as bad as we think it is. Don't ruin the kid's confidence, and obviously don't get him hurt. You know what I mean? I don't think Drake May's Troy Aikman. He's not going to be back there and like he was back in his rookie year getting sacked 45 times. So I don't know if he'll survive that.
Who do you think? What does the quarterback room look like when we start the season? Who's in the room?
Well, why is Zappy there right now? I don't understand why they haven't got rid of him. Like, start fresh. Get rid of him. Get rid of Mac Jones.
Yep, I agree with Billy on that one. But I wouldn't be surprised. So I agree with Billy that he shouldn't be there. But I was going to say they're going to I'm blanking on his name now.
Milton?
The kid from Tennessee. Thank
Joey?
you, Milton. They're going to have Milton on the practice squad. Someone will probably scoop him up. Yep, the practice squad, Milton, and then they'll have Brissett, May, and Zappy in the room. But
see that freaks me out because I love Milton. I'd rather see Zappy out of the picture, and then have the three new kids, and Brissett new, the new core of the QB room all be together.
Yep.
Probably, obviously, Jacoby is going to start the year, and then Milton is safe as 3, and then you put somebody else. I mean, and we stack a few other kids on the practice squad, or let Zappy go to the practice squad, and if he leaves, he leaves, right?
Unless May lights it up in the preseason, that's the only way I could see him. Like,
yeah, no, agreed. And I'd rather have him learn. I think we don't need to throw him. We've been so tragic. We don't need to throw him right in. And Milton's got a cannon. I don't want to see him go somewhere else. That'll annoy the crap out of me. Can you imagine just honestly, can you imagine I don't even know who's behind Aaron in New York. Who's behind Aaron Rodgers in New York?
Oh God,
the ghost of Joe Namath. I don't know.
Well, it's my biggest fear is he goes anywhere.
It's not Zach Wilson anymore. I know that.
Anywhere that we have to deal with him, and then somebody gets knocked out, and then suddenly you got Joe Milton slinging it from Miami, right? Because Tua's got a hangnail again or something.
There's a reason why he didn't get drafted until when he got drafted.
He's got a cannon, dude. I agree. To me,
he does,
well,
but
can't hit 15 yards down. He can't hit a 15-yard slant.
He's got cannons to the right and cannons to the left.
I love Joey. There's a great piece of social media right when they the day after they land, like they got drafted, they came in for their shirt thing out on the field, and it shows Joey Milton go into facilities, and he's talking to the equipment manager, and they're introducing each other. They're introducing themselves to each other, and he gives him the helmet, and he takes it off, and he's got the helmet. And he's starting to pull it down, and he pulls it on, and it looks sort of weird because I don't think they have it caged up yet. And he's like showing him some of the cages, and he goes, "I'll need the visor." He goes, "You need to be on the field first." Like he's like trying to sleek it up. He's like, "Yeah, I definitely want the Nike visor." And they're like, "Why don't we take a couple snaps first?" And the guy's just totally giving him shit. Like, "You're in the big leagues, kid. Don't worry about how styled out your helmet's going to be. Why don't you just worry about getting on the field?" But
Tyrod Taylor, by the way, that's the backup for Aaron Rodgers. Is Tyrod Taylor?
Tyrod's over there. All right, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. This is the best part of the season is when we get into the preseason games and you see all the movement that happened while you weren't paying attention, because nobody watches anybody else's team as much as they watch their own. Like, and we don't even know our whole staff, our whole roster, all of our rooms. But you start watching preseason games and you're like, oh my God, that's where that person ended up. Like, it's fascinating to me. What's the wide receiver room look like? I know you guys said that Juju is going to be out. Like, do you think, does Pop stick around? Do we keep him? I love Pop so much.
Yeah. Pop Douglas is definitely around. I think Bourne's going to be the leader of that room, in my opinion. I think Kendrick Bourne he established that actually. I felt like at the end of the, at the really, or even the beginning, in the middle of last year, and basically kept saying, "Give me the ball," or whatever. And when you did, good things happened. So, I mean, you have KJ Osborne, who just got signed as well. But then you have, what are you going to do with? So you have Pop Douglas and you have Butte as well, and with Polk, and I know they brought in Jalen Reagor. I'm missing a few others, but wide receivers. That's what I mean. It's going to be the most competitive room by far. By far. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot there. And I mean, like, you got guys like, Reagor and Osborne are going to be your, they'll also split with special teams, especially with Osborne as well. So, they have value to add in other parts. So I could see them kind of sticking around, and obviously not going to get rid of Polk. I mean, I could see Tyquan Thornton going away, but Polk and Baker, the 2 draft picks, they're not going anywhere. And I don't think Bourne is either. That's why Juju, I think, is absolutely going to get cut. Absolutely going to get cut.
Yeah.
First cut that guy. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God.
He's garbage.
Get out of here.
Despise him.
Don't hold anything back.
I just no. I hate that man.
Oh my God. Oh my. Wow.
I hate.
Wow.
I don't say that about a lot of Patriots, but I when they signed him, I was like really pissed.
So what do we think is going to happen with Judon?
They need to extend him. I wish they would and just get it done. My theory, dumbass moment for Timmy here, is the Crafty, as you called him. Kraft's going to hear a ton during training camp and preseason from the fans about signing him, and he's going to end up doing it from just peer pressure, and he'll bring him back. But Judon is an absolute beast, and he absolutely needs to be back. But that's my prediction.
Why would they not bring him back? Like, give me that argument. Why would you not bring him back?
Somebody else on the call here.
Because he's older.
Okay.
He doesn't fit within their remodel, rebuild, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I don't think if they rebuild the defense, I'd be really surprised. I mean, Mayo was on the defensive staff last year. I don't think they're going to really touch a lot of that scheme. It was one of the better defenses in the NFL last year. Like, I'm not worried. That's one thing I'm not really all that worried about, is the defensive side of the football.
But I think the core of that team is pretty young. The core of the defense is pretty young. So I think that's the thing, that they don't want to extend for a guy who's going to, maybe be injured a lot in the next couple of years and not even be on the field. They'd rather have him play out his contract this season and then move on from him.
I don't know. Well, maybe this is the the Belichick part of me or like thinking of, because if you look back at the history, they never really did that, right? They kept Bruschi on for a long time. They kept, obviously Dante retired a little bit early in his age and stuff, but like, a lot of veterans on the team, Harrison, Vrabel, stuff going back, and I'd be surprised if Mayo is one of them, would be behind that and to let him go and not extend him. I feel like Mayo is a guy that's going to want to extend Matthew Judon. Again, to your point,
but also he's coming off an injury, right? He's coming back from an injury, so maybe they want to see him play first.
Well, that's what I say. Yeah, they're going to want to see if he can. What can he do? What can he do? Mm-hmm. And then you'll see him out there. He won't play probably preseason game 1 or maybe even 2. Well, maybe 2. But they're gonna want to see him, and if he can do what he does, then I think they bring him back.
So I'm looking at the schedule. This is different. There's a team that we always play in the preseason that we are not playing this year in the preseason.
Not playing Giants?
We're not playing the Giants.
Really?
Yeah. So we August 8th, Thursday, 7 p.m. August 8th, we play Carolina comes into Gillette. The 15th, Eagles come into Gillette. And then on Sunday the 25th, we go to Landover, Maryland for the Commanders. That's interesting. What I love about that, it sets up perfectly. I'll make my Nostradamus prediction, then we'll talk about Jaylen Brown and how the Celtics are going to break his heart. I'm just kidding. Not going to break his heart, but something weird's going on there. We'll get to that in a second. I think the Giants are in a state of are you guys watching them on Hard Knocks, by the way? So there's Hard Knocks preseason, Hard Knocks...
No.
Hard Knocks off season, then they're doing a Hard Knocks preseason, then there'll be an in season. So they're doing all the Hard Knocks they can get because HBO is realizing that Netflix is stealing their cheese. That's another show for another time. Anyway, I think they are unfixable. Dayball loses his job, and that's where Billy ends up next year. I think Billy does come back as the head coach of the Giants because that's his first love, and they will magically show up on our preseason schedule next year. They will be back on our preseason schedule because the NFL, that'll be the highest rated preseason game in the history of preseason games. The Giants at Gillette in the preseason.
Somebody taking notes on this one. I like that. That's a hot take.
I love it. I've been saying this for a while. Dayball loses his job. Everybody's talking about him going to Dallas. He's not going to Dallas. I mean, they should fire McCarthy in Dallas. I don't care who they pick up. I think Belichick, Dayball loses his job. Belichick goes there. And then the Giants will be magically back on our preseason schedule. And I don't know what our NFC schedule is, but yeah.
We just played the Giants last year. So we're a few years away from
we got a big rotation. You're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we just played last year. So I would say that they're probably a few years, depending on schedule and like, not schedule, standings and stuff. But it's an interesting take. I like it. It would also hurt me a little bit to see
the Giants.
You must have been listening to the Sports Hub today because that's what they said.
What, Dayball? I don't listen to the Sports Hub, first of all. But I swear to God.
What you said is exactly what they said.
What do you mean?
The same thing, that Dayball's going to get fired and Belichick's going to end up there next year.
He loves that team arguably more than he loves the Patriots. I think that's his first love. He would love to go back. 1,000%. I would be
go back to a suck team.
I'd be able to root for him if he's over there because it's we don't have to deal with it like until we have to deal with it. You know what I mean? I'd be happy to root for him as the Giants head coach because it's not like he's not playing in our sandbox. I have a lot of issues. Talk to my therapist. All right, so there's definitely something going on. There's some feels that are wrapped up in the Olympic Committee's decision. And why Derek White went and Jaylen Brown didn't. I need my 3 NBA insiders to explain to me how Jaylen Brown doesn't get pulled into that team. Is it really a Nike thing?
It's definitely a Nike thing.
Yeah. LeBron James went to Grant Hill and said, "You're bringing Derek White.
I don't need somebody to share the ball with again."
He's not going to take time away from me. So you're going to bring in Derek.
This is
White.
my last Olympics.
But you guys, I mean, you guys are dead serious? No, honestly,
I'm surprised they didn't bring Bronny on.
Oh my God! What had happened was no, but honestly, help me. Like, tell me why this makes sense. Because it's if I have a little bit of a clue, but if I'm a passive viewer of NBA basketball, if I'm a fringe Celtics fan who was very excited that we won, but I couldn't name the starting five when I sat down to watch my first game. Like, and we're now watching the kid that just got the MVP in the conference championship and in the finals and won a world championship. Like, make it make sense for me that he doesn't get pulled in to solidify. He's a beast. Just to solidify, because it's not a cakewalk for us with the men's Olympic team. The women should be fine. The men, not so much. Like it's not a cakewalk. It could be. It should be with the team they have collected. And I don't know how Derek White gets invited over him outside of political factors.
Yeah, they struggled a little bit against Australia. I mean, they beat them relatively handily, but Australia got to the 6th, going to the 4th. But anyway, there's no logic here. You're asking for like a logical response, but there really isn't. Okay. Brown's a better player than White, and I love Derek White. I love both these guys, but in the fact that you're looking at the fact that they removed Kawhi, right, and then they replace him with Derek White. Kawhi and Brown essentially are the same type of player, right? Yeah. Two-way, small forward, big guard, whatever you want to call it. Kawhi could be categorized as like a small power forward, but whatever. Essentially the same player. And you bring in a guard like Derek White. It doesn't make any sense at all. There's no rhyme or reason for it. I was shocked. I mean, and like I wasn't like appalled or like upset about it. I was just like, Jesus, like that's just. And I felt bad for Jaylen Brown because I know he wanted to go. I know he wanted to go.
Sure.
And he can say all this stuff like I'm with my gorgeous wife at the ESPYs and whatever, and I'm happy he won the ESPY for whatever. But still, like I know he's not happy about it. So there's definitely something going on.
Do I think it's going forward?
Do I think it's like
that pisses him off?
Yeah, exactly. Do I think it's something within like the organization of the Celtics? No, I don't think so. I think Corey and Billy are right. I think it's Nike. I think there's something going on there that they just didn't want. They didn't want them.
Sales are down. They need sales back up. So they need all their Nike players out there on the court winning gold medal wearing Nike.
Yeah.
Actually, so
why is Kawhi not on this roster?
Because he's hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not Kawhi. I mean Kyrie. Sorry, Kyrie.
Oh,
yeah. So
he's an asshole.
I think this actually does make sense for the team that instead of having another big star, you have someone that's going to come in and be a role player and actually do the dirty work, unlike most of the guys out there that are all ego. So I think
Brown
having
did the dirty work. But I'm Luka like full court, man.
Yes,
like he was.
I'm not saying that he wouldn't do it, but I think Derek White is more that guy that's not going to bitch and complain if he only plays 3 minutes in a game.
Gotcha. Okay.
My biggest concern for him, because I love Derek White, he needs to grow the hair back. Can he grow it back in time for the Olympics?
No.
Yeah.
Never.
Love the flow. Love the flow. My biggest fear now is that if he has like some cataclysmic play or event during the Olympics that causes us to not not guaranteeing that we're just going to go to gold and now it's their medal to lose, but like I hope he has a good showing at the Olympics. That's my biggest concern. Because there'll be a lot of talk every time he goes in. It's going to be talked about the fact that he's going in because it would have been Jaylen Brown, but it's him because Jaylen Brown has more hair than he does and Nike and blah, blah, blah.
He's going to be a role player. Like legit, that's because of the other egos on that team. He's going to be the 10th guy or whatever it is. And he'll go in situations where maybe they want him strictly just to play defense on a guy.
And he'll be the guy. Lord.
He'll be the guy that will do that,
Okay.
Where LeBron go in and we just want you to play defense, don't care about scoring. Yeah, okay, bullshit.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. He will not be doing that. somebody's got a hard out because they have to fly to Oklahoma. Are you going to get Scotty his autograph? What is happening?
That's in Utah.
Oh, that's Utah. Don't mind me. You're going to
I was
Oklahoma.
like, wait, is he going to be in Oklahoma? I'm like, what?
What's happening?
That's
Oh,
all.
my
That's
heart
August.
just stopped for a second. Jesus.
End of August. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah, you're like, Carl, I'm only coming to Oklahoma. Meet me there. I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to climb a ladder, then kick your ass.
Scotty, you got 1 minute to tell us about Canton.
Oh,
It was
no,
amazing.
we can do that. We can do that next week. We can do a deeper dive next week. I
Oh, that's cool.
love it.
Yeah, dude, this thing was it was amazing. Highly recommend, man. Like Timmy, you were 1,000% right. It was a lot of feelings. I can tell you that right now.
It's hard.
Like,
yeah, I'll say it like this. And not that we both wanted to go, obviously. And I've been there with Corey. Corey, you and I did it on the road trip. I've been a handful of times. I did it once with Corey. I think it's like, I tell the story ages ago. OD came into the studio and he had tickets for Mark Anthony. And I didn't really want to go, but when I got there, I appreciated it. I didn't know what to expect the first time I went. Not Mark Anthony, Football Hall of Fame. Anyway.
we were on the same road.
When you get in there and it's just layers of history and all the, oh my God, I forgot about that. Oh my God. And it's emotional.
So,
like, cause it's like emotional. Like you're like, I can't believe how much I forgot about the NFL. And you could spend way more time there.
Oh yeah.
It's tough to go in there and feel like you checked all the boxes. It's not Disney. There's not 7 parks, but there's so much information and there's so much overload and you're trying to skate through. And I think we sort of take it for granted, like, oh, we'll do another road trip. We'll hit it again. And we will. I guarantee we will because Janina loves it. It's definitely more fun after we've won. The film at the end about the Super Bowl is great when it's your team. But yeah, dude, I'm glad you went. It's phenomenal. And you spent a lot of money there.
I bought a couple of things. Actually, it was cheap though. It wasn't that bad.
I was there in March, and they're expanding it. They're always doing something to improve it. I mean, the place is huge.
Yep,
it's massive. We spent about 4 hours there. Mostly because I got caught up with a conversation.
3.5 of those in the gift shop.
No. Actually, I got caught up with a conversation with one of the guys that works there, one of the older guys. Him and I started talking, and we got into a very long conversation. Actually, boys don't like it when I say this, but like one of the highlights of the trip was that he told me he was impressed with my football knowledge, and I'm like, that's an older guy from Ohio, from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Yeah, he was. It was awesome. It's spectacular. It's a lot of fun.
Such a cool spot.
Such a cool spot.
It's so place. Unassuming. You're like, you beautiful downtown Canton, Ohio, and you're like, oh, okay. I'm just gonna drop this here.
If you build it, they will come.
It's crazy.
That's like Cooperstown too, in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, yeah, it's unbelievable. All right, we'll be back at it next week. Adam's on assignment, getting his hard did, but we'll probably have him back next week. Were you struggling, Scotty? Did you hear what I said?
No, I heard it, I think.
No, he's not getting his hair done. I'm just kidding. Oh, the dog's ready to go.
Dog's like, okay.
The dog's ready to go lay in the pool. Now, does the dog get into a tiny pool inside the pool like Rubba shoes? Is it like a babushka pool, or what are we doing? What are we doing?
No, we don't.
Corey's
going
to catch a flight. For Corey, for Rubba shoes, for Scotty, and for Adam. My name's Timmy. Thanks for checking out the show. ATBshow.com. You can go there and comment and share and like and subscribe. We'll see you boys next week. Take care.
Safe travels.
Bye.